Welcome back. We're very happy to have you here with us as we're continuing to study the Bible through these videos. My name is Keith Thompson. I'm with the Armadale Church of Christ, and we're currently studying the book of Ephesians. This week we're up to Ephesians Chapter 5. And now notice as we start in verse 1, where the Apostle Paul writes, "Be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love just as Christ also loved you and gave himself up for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. But immorality or any impurity or greed must not even be named among you, as is proper among the saints. There must be no filthiness or silly talk or coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving thanks. For this you know with certainty that no immoral or impure person or covetous man who is an idolater has an inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God." Here we have in this chapter a reminder about how we need to live as Christians. And we have the perfect example. Be imitators of God as beloved children. We've noticed in these studies that we've been adopted into the household of God. We noticed last week that there was just one body, the church, and now we recognize as children of God, we need to imitate God. We need to live our lives as God would want us to. And verse 2, notice what it says in verse 2, "And walk in love just as Christ also loved you and gave himself up for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma." That's how we have to live our lives. The idea of walking, whenever you read walk in a manner worthy of God or any such verse, it's talking about a manner of life and telling us that we don't need to take big, long strides. All we have to do is walk one step in front of the other. And in this case, it says walk in love. And once again, we're given the perfect example, just as Christ loved you. And we know how Christ loves us. He gave himself as a sacrifice for us. He willingly died on the cross. He was the offering, the sin offering. And as it said, a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. What does this mean to us? That's how we need to live our lives, walking in love. The love of the same sort that Christ has for us. Because, verse 3, "But immorality or impurity or greed must not even be named among you, as is proper among the saints." The term saints means those ones set apart for a holy use. All Christians have been sanctified, been made saints by the blood of Christ. Therefore, we need to live in a proper way. And that means immorality, impurity, and greed must not even be named among us. Verse 4, "And there must be no filthiness or silly talk or coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather the giving thanks." We live in a world that is filled with filthiness, silly talk, and coarse jesting. That's not for the Christian. We have to live upright lives, and rather filling our minds and our mouths with filthiness, we need to fill our minds and our mouths with thankfulness to God. Verse 5, "For this you know with certainty that no immoral or impure person or covetous man who is an idolater has an inheritance in the kingdom of God, of Christ and God." We have, if we have obeyed the gospel, if we are following Christ, we have an inheritance in the kingdom of God. But we can lose that. As children of God, we can lose it if we fill our mind with immoral behavior, impure thoughts, being covetous. We can lose it. There is no place for that. in the kingdom of God. And Paul, in this letter, reminds us of that. We need to walk in love just as Christ loved us. He's our example, a perfect example. So we can know today how to live, and no matter what circumstances we're in, live like Christ. Well, we've come to the end of this video once again, and I thank you for joining me as I'm here in this beautiful waterfall in the island of Bali, Indonesia. We're planning another video next week, so come back and join us. As always, if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to get all the emails in your inbox. Thank you once again, and goodbye for now.